However, individuals with narcissistic traits will likely attempt to speed up the relationship, wanting to see you multiple times a week and also engage in lengthy dates. Metaphorically speaking, and I mentioned this briefly earlier, entering a relationship with a narcissistic person resembles assembling a 1,000-piece puzzle. This individual already possesses all the pieces and they have constructed the image with every narrative, every story, every character feeding into this larger picture. Yet, you remain unaware of this. By the time you become or you begin to gather your pieces, they will be accompanied by distorted reality, they'll be accompanied by confusion, accompanied by doubt, and a sense of loss, complicating the process of fitting everything together. So, reflective question. What emotions arises when I receive abundant compliments or attention from my partner or the person I am dating? Do I feel overwhelmed or genuinely appreciative or appreciated by the intensity of their affection? The next thing that we're going to look into a brief overview of Liam. So, he was born and raised, I am in Ottawa. Okay, he was born and raised in a city a few hours from Evie's current residence. Evie also is in Ottawa. Most of my sisters are in Ottawa and the surrounding regions. He recounted that his parents were largely absent, and so Liam lives not far from Evie's residence. He mentioned that his parents were largely absent and neglectful during his childhood due to their business commitments. As a result, he and his sister, had to fend for themselves. This upbringing led him to spend time on the streets with his cousins and friends, where they engaged in minor criminal activities, including like breaking into homes, and he was apprehended on several occasions. Eventually, he found himself with a broken leg and under house arrest, yet he continued to associate with the streets. He spoke of a red-haired girlfriend at the time whom he called, his ride or die. In the story, she will be referred to as Red, just to simplify. So despite his injury with his broken leg, he was out there involved in criminal activities, with Red often assisting him in his escapades. He described reaching a low point in his life marked by significant trauma that he continues to confront. However, he is devoted and committed to his healing journey, he mentioned. Liam admitted that being vulnerable is challenging for him, emphasizing the need for the relationship to be a safe haven where he can express himself without the fear of judgment. He recounted hitting rock bottom and subsequently violating his probation. On that very day, he was facing a lengthy incarceration. In a surprising turn of events, his probation officer offered him a chance at redemption, asking him to commit to making positive changes. He, his dog, and Red embarked on a 42-hour journey to a distant city to start fresh. He noted that there often seems to be a girl ready to help in need, and this is the thing with narcissistic individuals, that there's often a woman, or they have a collection. Some people call them supplies. They have a collection of women that they will keep in their lives to come and save them when needed. So he says that, he mentioned that she came from a wealthy family, Red, and lived in a beautiful home by the river, which they could use at no cost. He expressed that his faith is strong, supported by personal testimonies. And I have recording of this. I had to really shorten the book, but hopefully I will share some of the things that you won't find in the book throughout this story. He believes God is always present and assists at the right moment. He dedicated considerable time to nature, to prayer, meditation, healthy eating, and exercise, naming everything Evie is interested in. He affirmed that he has successfully transformed his life since leaving the city of his upbringing. He returned to school and obtained a degree that allowed him to work as a consultant. He remarked that his relationship with Red became problematic as she developed issues with alcohol and toxicity. Ultimately, he ended the relationship and relocated to an elegant high-rise with an ocean view. His financial situation was prosperous until when he lost his job. Additionally, being separated from his daughter was particularly challenging for him. So this prompted him to relocate to a city closer to his birthplace. So now he's moved from this place where he had this beautiful condo high-rise facing the ocean to a city that is closer to his birthplace so he could be nearer to his daughter. After relocating, he secured a substantial contract that was earning him about $20,000 a month. And he said at that time, life was prosperous. He told Evie, quote, "Had I met you then, I would have proposed immediately as my life was stable then." According to his account, he used his earnings to purchase land and begin constructing his current residence, which is located approximately 25 minutes from Evie's home. He noted that challenges often arise, including betrayals. He mentioned that his best friend became envious and sabotaged the contract, resulting in significant losses. Consequently, he decided to move into his new home, which he described as beautiful and his dream residence. When asked how long since he acquired the house after losing his primary source of income, he replied that his home was built about a year ago. At that time, interest rates here in Ottawa were around like 6.5%, leading to questions about the high rent. He had a response for every inquiry, stating that he has saved money through diligent work and sacrifice. Evie thought his story was fishy, but acknowledged that he deserved credit for his hard work, despite the house costing nearly maybe $800,000. Okay, nearly like $1 million, $800,000. Let's keep it to that. He emphasized that miracles do happen and that there's often some sort of supernatural intervention in his life, allowing him to emerge stronger, akin to like a superhero. Despite his criminal record not being expunged, he secured his current consulting position, earning approximately $71,000 annually. His work schedule typically keeps him away from home from Monday to Friday evening, with weekends often spent decompressing, resting, and of course, preparing for the next week. His job requires him to travel to various cities and provinces around Ottawa. Tips: we must consider the facts and apply common sense. Think about it. How is it feasible to have 2 dogs while constantly traveling and constantly on the road? There are times when he works on the weekends. If one lives alone, one must consider who will look after the dogs and manage the household. She expressed her desire, the story continues, Evie, expressed her desire for him to clarify certain matters, and he always seemed to have a response ready. He mentioned feeling fortunate to have a wonderful neighbor with a dog, which is not a nuisance. It is essential to recognize the existence of communal narcissists. Yes, communal narcissists, they do live among us, okay? They could be your neighbors. They are often your neighbors, seamlessly integrating into the community, and they are ready, I tell you, to offer assistance. It could be mowing your lawn, walking your dog, helping with the trash, you name it, they are ready, like superheroes in the neighborhood, ready to save. Communal narcissists frequently portray themselves as altruistic, compassionate, leveraging their apparent selflessness to seek validation and approval from those around them. So even recounted that he repeatedly emphasized, I want, and this is him talking, Liam, I want our relationship to be founded on trust, openness, transparency, honesty, and healthy communication. He asserted, I want this to be a safe space. Evie responded, are we in a relationship? He replied, stop this nonsense, girl. I have already removed myself from the dating app because I have found my person. Are you still out there like that? She responded, we just had our first date a few days ago. I was unaware that we were in a relationship. She mentioned that she believed she was dating and taking her time to assess the situation. He responded, we must have mutual trust. Trust must be the cornerstone of our relationship. Evie was taken aback and needed time to process his words. Following this, he mentioned, in the spirit of trust and transparency, I want you to know that I occasionally smoke weed, but only in exceptional circumstances. I do not smoke cigarette. She pointed, your dating profile indicated that you're a non-smoker. She asserted herself by clarifying, smoking is a significant issue for me and I would not have engaged with you had you been honest in your profile. He stated, there is no way I will have misled you. No way I will mislead anyone or misrepresent myself. You must have misunderstood, as I clearly indicated that I smoke occasionally and I am attempting and trying really hard to quit. She replied, let's revisit the app and verify. He responded, I have already unmatched you and deleted the app. Perhaps you're confusing me with someone else. As I mentioned, honesty is a fundamental principle in my life. He continued, honestly, your remarks are hurtful. I cannot believe we're even having this conversation, this discussion. Furthermore, I feel judged by you as if I am a liar. I merely pointed out the significance of emotional safety and assumed that you, as a psychologist, yes, he went there, as a psychologist, you will grasp this better than anyone. Evie decided to put it to rest. However, the warning signs were gradually accumulating. She acknowledged, just to calm things down, de-escalate. She stated, you're correct, I apologize, I must have mixed you with someone else. It's possible, my error. He remarked, you misread the situation, it's all in your mind. You're looking for reasons to undermine something beautiful. Perhaps it stems from your own past trauma. Why would I fabricate anything? This, as I meant, the art of gaslighting at its finest. It's like Liam has mastered. It's so settled, but very effective.